Hey guys, it's BRS. Welcome back to the channel. I'm joking, okay? Someone in the comments asked me to talk about sleeping with someone on the first date and how I feel about it. Personally, I think everyone should be sleeping on the first date, okay? Everyone should be hitting with your man, woman, child, not child, whoopsie, not child, but with your man, woman above the age of 18. You should absolutely be putting out on the first date. Unless you're giving out bad pipe, okay? Whether you have small meat, a loose vajayjay, at that point you do kind of want to schmooze them a little bit before you get into it, okay? And let's talk about what it means to have small meat and a loose vajayjay. Okay, so I looked up average meat size and they're showing me actual meat here. Like I'm looking for a solution. Anyways, let's forget about this, okay? You know about your meat, okay? At the end of the day, you should know, right? If you're experienced, Anyway, forget about all that, okay? You should know your meat's capabilities, okay? At least a general ballpark. You know, they were on social media talking about Roku remotes. Like, bro, if you got a Roku remote, pack it up. Okay, pack it up. Yeah, no, literally, like pack it up. Probably put some like I don't know, like socks in there or something. Give yourself some bulge. Actually, don't do that. As a matter of fact, I hate the discourse around being on soft and what it means for your member. I'm gonna tell you, when I'm on soft, I am completely miserable down there. Okay, if you saw it on soft, you would probably lose a lot of respect for me. But then when I rise, I rise. I want to tell you multiple times because here's the thing: I'm not going around waving around my soft Johnson. Okay, I very much before like I actually get into cahoots with young ladies, I absolutely kind of like conceal it as much as possible until it's time for the act. I get bricked up, participate in the act, and after that, I'm like, okay, I've shown them the capabilities of my Johnson. All right, so now they can see it on soft, and like they know what I'm actually capable of. It's like now I can trust them to see the alter ego. You know what I mean of my member. It's like, and it's one tell you, it's genuinely like a Superman Clark Kent situation. Like because afterwards, like say I'm like just like walking around like unclothed, they're like, bro, what? They're like, how does it even grow that much? And I'm like, I don't know, science, okay? But the thing is, it's legitimately like finding out Clark Kent is Superman. Like, what? Nerdy Clark Kent who works at Daily Star? What? It's like, yeah, when the time comes, put the cape on, okay? Comes to save the day. And the thing is, when I tell you this, every single man I know that I've talked about this with has like the same thing. And I've known women who are talking about like their boyfriends and they're like, oh yeah, like it's like small when it's soft, but then like it grows like a lot. So I'm thinking, I think they're just all like that. Not all, but like, you know, I feel like there's a lot of them that are like that. I feel like a lot of people don't understand the concept of what a grower is. You know what I mean? Because it's like you put my meat in a lineup next to some shrimpies, it's not looking good for me, okay? But then, you know, as bricking up happens, then it's like, oh, okay, now we see the vision. It's like I'm glad because if my meat was like its full size all the time, I would be so inconvenienced, I'd be so uncomfortable. But at the same time, it's like, bro, I can't wear gray sweatpants. I can't wear anything where it's like a print would be visible. And the thing is, people don't believe it when they hear it. Like I remember this one guy where there was like some women, like they saw his print and it like looked small and they're like, oh yeah, like his print looks so small, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know, like he could be a grower. And they're like, well, I tell you, this is always the line. There's nothing to grow. And it's like, bro, like that's literally the point of growing. Like that's what it is. Someone legitimately needs to like teach a class on it or something. But no, something that's very funny to me is I know men where they'll literally not let any women see them on soft, like even women that they're dating. And it's like, you understand they already know what you're capable of. Like I said earlier, it's like they know. And it's like them seeing Clark Kent, knowing already that Clark Kent is Superman is much different than them just seeing Clark Kent off the rip. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you gotta send them like soft meat pics or anything, but it's just, I feel like sometimes like it legitimately helps for them to like see it. You know what I mean? So they get like a better understanding of like, oh my gosh, like, wow. Like, cause the thing is, personally, when I get bricked up, I don't know about y'all, but when I get bricked up, I feel like I'm powering up. Like I feel like my level is increasing. Like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm going Super Saiyan. And the thing is, with my girl, for instance, who has seen my soft meat, she can also sense me going into that mode, going Super Saiyan. So it's like it means something to her as well. It's like it increases her levels because she sees me leveling up before her very eyes. Okay, it's a turn on. Like just blatantly. Oh yeah, and by the way, bro, fellas, when I tell you, like that's one thing I feel like almost every woman has told me, like that is like a turn on. Not you being small on soft, but the concept of it growing into some huge thing. Okay, so I feel like you definitely shouldn't be afraid to show them the softie after you've already showed them the hardy. Anyways, my main point is, fellas, if this is you bricked up, you don't want to rely on your meat. Okay, so you absolutely should not hook up on the first date whatsoever. Okay? You definitely want to wait a bit to like sweeten the deal, get them to like you before, you know, you have to reveal one of these. But anyways, let's talk about loose vajayjays. Okay, loose vajayjays. Now, when we talk about a loose vajayjay, what do we mean? Like, what do we talk? Have you ever seen like one of these? You know what I mean? Like one, like you can see inside, like you can see what's going on there. Bro, I remember this one girl, man, y'all are not gonna like this story. This one girl, bro, a little bit on the looser side, which is okay. Which is okay. There's nothing wrong with being loose. The same way there's nothing wrong with having a smaller member. If that's who you are, that's your body. You know, you had no choice in the matter. But there was this one girl. Oh my gosh. Thank God her stuff was loose. Okay, because I remember she was laying on her back. I'm looking in there. I'm seeing what's going on. Because here's like, I used to have this thing where I'm like, I have to check what's in there before I do anything to it. You know what I mean? I just have to see like what the vibes are. Okay, I need to diagnose the situation. Like nowadays, I do it with my hands, which is probably a bit more dangerous. Like after I get to the point in the story, but you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm like this. I'm looking. I'm scoping out the joint. Okay, I'm like, what do I need to worry about, bro? When I tell you, I saw inside of her, there was residue. Nigga, there was residue inside of her. And I'm trying to, it was a long time ago. I'm trying to remember. I don't want to say it looked like cheese because it did not look like cheese. But it looked like if something bad had happened to cheese. It wasn't a lot of residue, mind you. It was probably like a dollop. Like, you know, when you have like hair gel, they're like, oh, put a dollop in your hand. But it was like a dollop. But like when I'm like, and I see it, I'm like, oh, nah, I can't get in there. What is this? And here's the thing. There have been situations where I'm like, again, I'm in the area, I'm navigating it, and I see a little bit of doo-doo on the back door, so to speak. Okay, because again, this is a family-friendly video. I don't want to use any disparaging terms. Doo-doo on the back door. That's where it was, on the back door. I've seen it, right? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just not gonna lick there, right? I'm completely fine. I'm like, okay, it's fine, natural bodily function. I'm just not gonna lick there. You know, like I can survive. She can survive like that. However, the reason I can live with that is at least when it's doo-doo, I know what it is. The stuff that was in this woman's vajayjay, I had no idea. I was scared out of my mind, bro. I was scared out of my mind. Because I'm like, bro, we're already unclothed. She's already waiting for it. She's already like, she's already in the mode. I'm in the mode. But this completely takes me out of it. Like, what is this mystery? What is this mystery substance inside of her? And how did it get there? Is it something that was lost in there? Or was it something that grew in there, you know? Bro, she had debris in there. Debris, rubble, wreckage, litter, waste, whatever you want to call it. Something in there that shouldn't have been in there. A foreign obstacle. When I open up your lady parts, I just want to see that flesh. That's all I want to see, okay? But I was forced to be in this situation. I'm over here and I'm looking. I'm seeing this substance, this unfamiliar substance. I don't want to touch it, but I'm like, what's going on here? Okay, I have to Google what's going on. Okay, let's look. Smegma, residue of made up oils, skin cells, sweat, and other fluids that can accumulate in the area. Excessive or abnormal discharge. It definitely, bro. It was a solid. Because it would be one thing. It would be one thing, right? If it was like kind of like fluidy, I could be like, oh, you know, that's probably just, you know, some discharge. You know, like discharge can be normal, but nah, bro. Like I could tell by looking at it, it was a solid. Okay, thick cottage cheese like this. Oh, a yeast infection. That makes me feel so much better. Because when I tell you, I was so afraid, bro. Like in that moment, I was like, bro. I literally felt horrible about it for like weeks afterwards. I was having nightmares about it, bro. But the thing about a yeast infection, still not ideal. But at the same time, I'm not as grossed out than there's just being some mystery debris, you know, inside of her. Yeah, but basically I told her, I was like, hey, I can't do this. And she was like, why? I was like, I'm scared. I'm nervous. And she looked down on me for that, absolutely. But I'm like, little do you know, you have stuff in your lady parts. And a lot of people would say like, oh, you should have told her. No, I'm not telling her that, bro. Like that, you know what kind of conversation that is? Bro, she might take my life to silence me to make sure I don't tell people about it, which I wouldn't. I wouldn't tell people like by name, like, oh yeah, there was something in there. But like, you know what I mean? Bro, but I remember one time this girl, she got a yeast infection and she was telling me about it, right? And she was saying that she got it from the laundry because she was on a sports team and she was like, oh yeah, they do our laundry together. I think I got my yeast infection from that. I'm like, that doesn't really sound like that. But you know, when people say BS to me, I kind of just let it flow in case unless I have like actual, like irrefutable, like, bow, you're wrong evidence, you know? And she told me that, but then later on she was like, oh yeah, but then like there was this guy where he put it in my butt. Basically, he went in the back door and then he put it in my lady parts without any sort of cleaning exchange. And I'm like, that sounds like it's more likely to give you a yeast infection. Actually, okay, not gonna lie, I have a very funny idea. Let me know what you guys would think of this. I wonder if I could make just random videos like how to avoid getting a yeast infection. Like, what would you think about that? Like, if I do you think I feel like that would be very humorous? Because I'm just thinking right now, but I'm like, what if I made random videos about like aspects of women's health, but I was like delivering facts. Like everything I was saying was factual. Like I feel like it would be funny because it would be like, what is he talking about? And then it would be an extra level of funny because it would be like, oh, but what he's saying is accurate. And then it would be an extra layer of funny because it would be like, why is he doing this? In case you can't tell, a big part of like my comedic effect is why would he do this? You know what I mean? Like my whole big thing is like, where does this even come from? Like, where does this idea even spawn from? But let me know if you think that's a good idea. But anyways, Shorty recovered from a yeast infection. When I tell you, bro, when she recovered from that yeast infection, I found out exactly how, like, I was going to say, I found out exactly how she got it, bro. I don't blame bro for giving her the yeast infection. Actually, I do. You shouldn't do that. That's nasty. Don't give people yeast infection. But when I tell you, bro, she was in my room. I was in there and I was like, what? Like, dude, I was speechless. Like, literally, I was in there. The sound I just made, like the, like that's what I was doing. I was confused, bro. I had never been at that point in my life. At that point in time, I was like 17. She was sleeping with me while I was a minor, but it's okay though. You know what I mean? Because she's a woman. But you know what I mean? I was in there lost and confused. I was like, bro, no way. I was so upset. I was so upset because I was just like, I was completely stunned. That was the first time I had been. That was the first time. Wait, was it? I mean, other than losing my V card, that the vajayjay caught me lacking. And that was when I first got to college. And I remember I was like, bro, I got to get in the lab. I got to get in the lab because never again can I be caught lacking. I was completely lost in there. I was like, wow, why is this happening? Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, if you're that kind of guy too, like if you're not prepared, for the vag, you don't want to sleep with her on the first date either. You know what I mean? But anyways, the point was we're talking about Lucy's, and you know, again, completely fine to be a Lucy, but you know, if I feel like if you're gonna want, you know, to sleep with this man on the first encounter, you're gonna want something real grippy. Okay, you're really gonna want to be able to, you know, or do something in there that's so freaky that like he can't resist. Okay, and I'm gonna get to the point of like why you need to have a certain level of quality in order to get away with doing these things. The thing is, if you sleep with someone on the first encounter and it's whack, then you're like, okay, now I'm gonna nip this in the bud. Okay, this is gonna be over. Like I'm not really interested in this person anymore. But if they really rock your world, oh bro, you're gonna be hooked. Like bro, like if I'm in there and I'm like, bro, this is some goated vag. Even if beforehand I was like, okay, I'm not gonna take her too seriously, I have to take her seriously to get more of the goated vag. You know, and I'm sure it works the same way with meat. I remember my friend, he was sleeping with this girl, and like the first time they slept together, she was like, I have to gatekeep you. And now he has this move, bro. I need to, you know, I'm seeing my girl today. I'm gonna do this move today. Okay, don't tell her though. Basically, he had this move where he was giving her pipe, right? Like he was delivering it. And then mid pipe, he got out, right? And then started walking away. Like he started like strutting across the room, and she went and she dragged him back to the bed. Okay, so I'm like, yeah. So, but basically, and you know, happily ever after between, like legitimately, like they're still together to this day. But imagine he gave lackluster pipe. She probably would be like, oh, he's just a guy who gives lackluster pipe. So you see my point? Like this advice that I'm giving, it's not for the bad pipers. Okay, it's not for the Lucy's. It's not for the miniatures, the shrimpies. It's for the big boys, okay? Big boys, and what word do I want to say? In the grippy gals. The grippy gal. Oh my gosh, if I was a pimp, I would call all my prostitutes the grippy gals. Bro, that would go crazy. Now, here's the thing, I would never pimp because pimping is illegal and morally. Is it morally wrong? Okay, I feel like it's morally wrong if you abuse your prostitute. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was a pimp, I would never lay a hand on one of my whores. Like I would never do that, bro. Except a comforting hand. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, my brother just passed away. And I'd be like, oh, little side hug, because again, I'm not getting too much into it with them because they're prostitutes, but I'm a little side hug, and I'd be like, hey, you can take some extra cut for the funeral and go to the funeral, take a break however long you want. You know what I mean? Like I would be the most ethical pimp. And I know you guys already want to know what would my pimp outfit look like, okay? And I have something in mind, okay? It's from media, okay? But I promise I'm not copying. I'd make it my own. Zemos from Saints Row, great game series, okay? Until the most recent drop. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. An outfit like this, okay? You see the tiger print, you see the purple. But I'd make it a bit more gay, a bit more homosexual, okay? It'd probably be something cropped underneath, and then something low rising right here. So I'm really showing a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And these would definitely be baggier pants than what he's wearing. You know what I mean? Because if you're gonna have prostitutes, I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna let y'all be the only ones dressing revealing, okay? Like I'm also gonna have my little cunty outfits. But anyways, I'd be the best pimp in the world, okay? We would have team building exercises. We'd go skiing in Aspen once a year, me and my hoes. Like, is that not beautiful? And here's the thing, we wouldn't just go skiing, right? When we're in the cabin, we would all sit there, right? We'd sit there like around like a fire, and then we just talk. We talk about how things were going for us. We could talk about work or we could not talk about work. Okay, it's their decision. We maybe have like some sort of some sort of pouch. We call this the feelings pouch, and then I pass it around, right? And I'm like, hey, I'm trying to think of a random woman's name. Actually, I can't. I shouldn't do that because if my girl watches this back and I say a random name, she'll be like, where'd that name come from? So I just Googled women's names. Amelia. I'm like, yo, you know what, Amelia? It's your time with the feelings sack. And then, she holds the sack, which again, this is the sack. And then she's like, I've been feeling good lately, but, sometimes I just wonder, is there more for me out there than, being a prostitute? And then I would look at her. I'd be like, hey, give me the sack. She'd give me the sack. I'd be like, there's as much as you want there to be. If you want to spread your wings and fly, I completely understand. But just know you'll always have a home here. And I truly feel like the morale of my hoes would be up so much higher than other prostitutes because I would treat them in such a kind way. They would know that I have this protective vibe over them. And I love that. I would see them as almost like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say like younger sisters, but like maybe like twin sisters. You know what I mean? Because obviously I wouldn't be sleeping with these prostitutes because that would be, I don't know, conflict of interest. I feel like I'd have an HR department, okay? They could file complaints. If there's beef between the prostitutes, we're going to squash that. We're going to squash that like right now. Because here at BRS and the Grippy Gals, trademarked, TM, copyright, we're a family. We're all one. We're a big, happy family. So yeah, some things, there are going to be little beefs out there, but we're going to resolve it, because there's so much love between the grippies. Like we ride for each other. You know what I mean? Like if something happened, we would all stand together and we would protect one of the grippies. Okay, we all stand around her, like shield her from the damage that could be being caused. Okay, we are a family. We're united. God damn, like you don't understand how much those hypothetical women mean to me, bro. Like ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a pimp, but then I found out being a pimp was illegal. Like, god damn, bro, like why would they do that to me? Because I would be so good at it, bro. My dream. Imagine you have a dream and people tell you that you'll never be able to achieve it because it's illegal. I didn't know. I didn't know. I have nothing but kindness in my heart. And I think maybe sometimes I lash out with anger and hate because I know truly I'll never be able to be a pimp. I'll never be able to accomplish that dream. God damn. It hurts. It hurts every day. And I could sit here and I can say that I let it go and that I'm moving on, but bro, it's my dream. My dream. And there's no chance for me. Because not only is it illegal but it's also frowned upon. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know how I'm treating the grippy gals. And you know, there'd be plenty of opportunity to go global with the grippy gals, because I know it'd be the most successful thing ever. The most the most successful pimping ever done. Okay? But I would turn down the opportunity to set up branches in different cities and different countries. You know why? Because I want to know each and every one of the grippy gals. I want to know about their upbringing. Okay? I want to know how things are for them, like where they live, like not in like a creepy, but where they live. You know, is it like okay? Is it nice? Like, do I need to take them out of poverty? You know, their boyfriends. Do their boyfriends have feelings about them being prostitutes? Do their boyfriends know? Do they have any sort of stalkers that I need to take care of? You know, it's just, and again, that family appeal. You know, and I'd protect them. I'd protect them from the world, okay, while they were prostituting. And people don't get that, okay? See, because a lot of people who were prostitutes at some point in their life, they end up being messed up. You know, they end up getting messed up by the system because they had no one there to protect them. That would be me. I would step in. BRS and the grippy gals would be the best institution in the world, better than church. Like, there would be women who would aspire to be prostitutes just because of the life that I'm providing the grippy gals. You know, but again, of course, it's illegal. Like, no, I'll never be able to show you guys how good of a pimp I would actually be. And that breaks my heart. But anyways, yes, you should absolutely sleep with someone on the first date. Because if you're giving out the good stuff, all you will do is make that person like you more, make them more fond of you, which isn't that the goal of the first date, as long as you enjoyed it, right? But also, since I'm talking about this, I also have to talk about how certain people are viewed, you know, sleeping with people on the first date. You know, like how it can seem negatively. Like, I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, like, I could never wife someone that I was able to sleep with on the first date. Why are you punishing a woman for liking you? Like, I've heard guys say things like, oh, I don't like that it was that easy. I had someone say to my face, like, cause I mentioned like sleeping with this girl. He's like, that didn't feel like too easy to you. And here's the thing. If you're that guy, it's always going to be too easy. Again, I've told you guys about the amount of celibacy, if that's even real, celibacy streaks that I've ended just by existing. Because I need you to understand something about me. Yes, I think you should sleep on the first date. But I'm not even trying to sleep with someone on the first date. Like, that's not like, yes, I'm like, okay, if it happens, great. But that's not something I'm like, okay, like I'm going to get them to sleep with me on this first date. It just happens. You just got to vibe sometimes. And then, you know, next thing you know, you're canoodling. But also, again, don't punish these people for liking you. Like, I don't understand, like, this whole being easy thing. Like, why do you want someone to be difficult? Like, some people think everything in life just needs to be a challenge. Like, oh, like, she slept with me on the first date, like, so easily. Like, what does that mean? What does it imply? What are you worried about? Like, anything you could possibly be worried about, in my opinion, skill issue. No, I think factually, skill issue. You know, like, you're worried about, like, oh, well, you know, what if that could mean she's a bop? Skill issue. That's a skill issue fear of you to have. And I'm not gonna lie, it's so crazy to me, because in this is gonna be part of the moral of the story. It's crazy to me that, like, some of your minds go straight to, oh my gosh, like, it was just that easy. She doesn't respect herself. Instead of being like, yeah, I'm just that guy. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just, you know, like, obviously she's gonna want to sleep with me. Because the thing is, some of them genuinely aren't easy. Some of them aren't easy, which, again, what's really the problem there? Again, it's a first date. Like, what do you think they, I just don't know why you want, like, an active barrier against you. It's like, my thing is, you're worried about her being easy at a point where you don't really have skin in the game. You know what I mean? Because, like, you don't know, like, what those barriers are. Like, I've known women who, like, put out instantly, but the second me and them got to a certain emotional point in the relationship, they were completely locked in. You know, for better or for worse, because a lot of times, like, I wouldn't want a relationship, and then they were just, like, kind of fiending for it, and I'm just like, it's not what I'm looking for right now. A lot of you put too much pressure into first date situations and also don't understand, like, kind of like what the vibes are. Also, sometimes a lot of these women aren't easy. Like, it is just you. Like, the amount of times where it's like, oh yeah, like, I haven't slept with someone in 2 years, and then next thing you know, it's it's me, it's this guy, I'm in there. And I feel like some guys would hear that and be like, oh, well, she's lying. For one, if she is lying, there's no way of finding out, because obviously, clearly, like, she can just lie about that. But if she is lying, why would I tell myself that she's lying in order to, like try to, like, hurt my own feelings? Like, if I'm getting a compliment, why am I like, oh, well, that's not true? Like, if someone tells me, oh, you're the best lovemaking I've ever had, am I really gonna sit there and be like, no, I'm not? You know, like, why? But people who can't take compliments are so crazy to me. Like, bro, I will take literally any compliment you give me. Like, bro, there have been so many women who I tell them stuff like, oh, like, you know, you're so beautiful, you're the prettiest, blah, 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 blah. And it'd be, how many other women have you said that to? And it's like, bro, it's a compliment. Like, take it. Like, grab it. You know, like, why are you questioning me to try to retroactively, like, make me think lesser of you? It makes no sense. Okay. So it's like when you're getting the compliment of someone sleeping with you on the first date, first encounter, bro, take it and run with it. Just take the baton and sprint. And also, another thing, I feel like a lot of people don't see the sneaky link to dating pipeline as an actual thing. Like, there are plenty of times where I've just linked up with people, you know, we slept together, did our thing, and then at some point later on, they became valuable contenders. Because another thing about sleeping on the first day too is intentions can change. If you guys are both looking for something casual and you guys hook up or whatever, but then get to know each other and you're like, wait, I think I could really spend some serious time with this person, you're allowed to change your mind. And that's why I don't get about some of you who have problems with the whole, you know, casual to serious pipeline of like, oh, I can't take her serious because me and her were so unserious for so long. That just doesn't make any sense. And I remember I made a video a while back about like people not owing you things, but it's like they really don't. Like, again, first date, you guys don't really know each other. You guys hook up. Or first link, you don't really know each other. You hook up and things are more casual, but then like a month or two later, you guys are like, wait, I think, are we in love? Oh my gosh. And then you guys want to lock in. Like, that's a perfectly fine thing to happen. And it's like, I'm trying to think of a scenario in which you actively wouldn't want someone to sleep with you on the first encounter, or at least for them to want to. You know what I mean? Like, do you really want to not be handsome enough? Like, do you want to not be beautiful enough for this person to want to, you know, get in you? Because I'll tell you this right now. Any interaction I've had, right? Any romantic interaction, there's either sleeping with each other on the first encounter or something being said to make it clear that they wanted to sleep with me. Because, you know, some people are like, oh, I want to sleep with you, but it's the first link. Like, you know, that little game right there. And the thing is, it's like, I'm handsome, right? I get that, you know, and I hope I'm talking to the attractives right now when I'm saying all this. And also, part of it is the way that I pursue dating by not pursuing. If someone's linking up with me, it's almost certain that they want the meat. Okay, now whether or not they're going to get it is up to them, you know, how they behave, you know, if they ask for it. But particularly, I don't over pursue, I don't chase, I'm not convincing a woman to like me by saying, hey, let me take you to this place. It's very much always, okay, there's heavy interest here, I'm heavily interested, or at least mediumly interested, because, you know, sometimes a nigga just get bored at the end of the day. But it's like, they say something where it's like, oh man, like I would love to show you like this thing. Like, I don't know, like they have some show, like, oh, I want to show you this show, right? And it's like, okay, yeah, like I know. Like it's not a full move, but it's a move. Or sometimes they do just flat out like, hey, you want to go somewhere? Hey, you want to link up? And it's like the most I do, I throw out a half bone. We should hang out sometime. You know what I mean? And then their reaction to that tells me whether or not that's something I should continue in, not pressing, but continue acknowledging. Because if I'm like, hey, we should hang out sometime, and they're like, oh, well, when are you free? Boom, you know, they want me. They want the meet. If I'm like, hey, we should hang out sometime, and they're just like, oh yeah, it's, you know, there might be a little bit less interest there, and it's just not something that I would pursue until I got more aggressive attention. So it's like, at this point, when I'm linking up, they already want me, right? Like, they already know that they want me. It's pretty much my job just to not mess it up, you know? Or sometimes, of course, like I said, people have rules where it's like, okay, I'm not going to sleep with someone on the first encounter for whatever reason. They have their reasons, again, reasons that I think are ridiculous, but actually not really. Because if you know that there are some men who aren't going to respect you after sleeping with you on the first link, and you don't want to sleep with them on the first link because you don't want to lose the respect of them, I understand why that's a thing. However, I feel like the kind of man who has that mindset isn't the kind of man you'd want in the first place. But I digress, okay? So it's like I link up with these women, see each other, and they see that like I'm even handsomer in real life, which I always love. And then there's either a moment where, you know, things start to get hot and heavy, and then boom, we're gonna sleep together, or they say something like, oh, you're so fine, I want to sleep with you, but like I can't, it's the first link, blah, blah, blah. Or something gets said like 3 links later where it's like, oh yeah, originally when we linked up, like I just wanted to sleep with you, but like you're actually like pretty cool, so now I want to like get to know you. It's like clockwork. Bro, you want to hear something crazy? It's kind of random. A little bit of background. When I'm in a big city, okay, I get glazed romantically. Okay, it's simply what happened. My girl just came, by the way, so I don't know how like dirty and nasty I'm gonna be able to be. So because yeah, like that's why I kind of like looked to the side after that last take, because like I heard the door open, I could just sense it was her, and then she came knocking. So she came in, and she's gone now. She's getting something out of her car. So yeah, so dirty and nastiness might be ceasing. Oh yeah, this is her jacket, by the way. She heard that. Never mind. I'm be really dirty and nasty. The thing is, I never came to that realization until I went to New York for the first time. The first time I went to New York, I was glazed romantically, like nobody's business. Like I had no idea that it was gonna be like that. Like, cause things I'm. Oh yeah, see, she finally left now, but she was in there hearing everything else. But anyways, like in my little Penn State bubble, you know, I got work done. I handled business. But in New York, I was getting glazed like crazy. Like people coming up to me saying stuff. Even like the dates I went on, like the little like Tinder dates or whatever, or just like people like I know on social media I went on dates with, they were like all over me, like more than people in state college would be all over me. I'm just like, man, this is the move. But before this ever happened, I remember I was talking to this girl. Girl lived in LA. And she told me, she was like, Bryce, me and my friend were talking about it. It's good that you weren't in LA or that you don't live in LA because someone absolutely would have snatched you up already. And I was like, oh, like I just took it as a compliment. But then when I went to like New York, I was like, oh, and then I went to LA last summer and I was like, dude, bro, LA last summer was crazy. Now, I wasn't able to engage in any shenanigans because I was dating this horrible woman at the time. But when I tell you the amount of people that were like on my stuff in LA was crazy. Like when I tell you they were not leaving me alone. I didn't even have my cornrows in, bro. If I had my cornrows in, bro, they'd be finished. That's how I know I'm meant for a bigger city. Not gonna lie to you. That's how I know like this state college stuff, this little college town I'm in, not for me. I am moving this summer. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, here, the difference is here, there are a lot of white people, which is okay, right? Like I'm absolutely okay with there being white people. Actually, why did I say that? I do wish I was in a more diverse area, but there's white people. So it's like, there's the chocolate chasers for sure, like snow bunnies, like people would say. But it's like once you do enough work in that community, you don't want to be there anymore. Like you just don't. And it's like, so it's like a combination of like people who only are into white men and people who are only into black men, which both of which disgust me in different ways. And finding another minority, extremely difficult, okay? But when you're in a place like a bigger city where minorities are all over the place, bro, they see the vision. Bro, and just in general, bro, because I'm a good looking guy. And that's why whenever I get into like a scandal and people say stuff about my hair and they're like, oh, that's how I know you're not dating a black woman because your hair looks like that, blah, blah, blah. When I tell you, bro, when I had Tinder and I was firing it up here in State College, I knew for a fact every time I saw a woman of color, if I swiped right, it was going in. Because that's simply how it was. Especially the thing about here is it's slim pickings for people of color in general, like I just stated to you. So it's like I'm such a rarity. I'm benefiting from being a rare sight. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely a city guy. Because bro, I always forget about LA because I was only in LA for a couple of days. Monty, bro, I was like scared. I was scared they're gonna like tear my clothes off in the function. That was where that one girl, she invited me to that group thing. She was like, okay, it's gonna be 5 people, guys and girls. You seem like you're into that. And I was like, oh wow. But the thing is, in the function, I don't think I ever got told this part. In the function, she and her friend was they were kind of like following me around to different places. And one day, like I'd be in like one like corner of the room or whatever, and then like some woman would walk up to me and be like, hey, like come with me over here. And I'd be like, okay. And I would just like come with them. And mind you, we would just be chatting, but they would just like pick me. You know what I mean? Like they would just be like, hey, like come here. And they'd be like, come in this conversation right here. I'm like, wow. And they complimented me in ways that I like being complimented. Okay. Because the thing is, the whole you're handsome thing, like I'm a handsome guy. I get it. But it's like, when you say I'm handsome, like handsome compared to who? The other men? Nah. Like what kind of competition is that? Okay. But these women, they're like, you're beautiful. And I'm like, thank you. See, that's what I need to hear. You're gorgeous. That's what I need to hear. And especially my gay outfits went over so much. They go over so much better in New York and LA, as you can imagine. So yeah, get me out of this shithole. I hate it here. Hate State College, Pennsylvania. But anyways, my point is, bro, if men like you, they're going to want to sleep with you on the first link. Okay, if you're a desirable person, they're going to want that. Don't hold your desirability against them because it's not their fault, okay? You're just so irresistible that they need it. And yes, I'm sure some of them are just loosies, you know what I mean, who's going to give it up to anybody. But at the same time, sorry, bro, she gave me her bag, bro, and I've just been holding it the whole time. I don't know what to do with my hands. Some of them are loosies, yes, but at the same time, you can't go through life thinking everyone that gives it up to you on the first encounter is a Lucy, okay? Because genuinely, they're not all like that, right? But also in the sense, why are you doing that to yourself? Like, that's a harmful way of thinking for yourself. And also, another moral of the story, you need to have better self-thought, and you need to understand when, in certain contexts, talking down on someone else is talking down on yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you'll see it all the time, like, women, they break up with someone, and they're like, oh, like, this guy, he never cared about me. Oh, he never cared. And it's supposed to be like a diss towards him. But then you're like, oh, he never cared about you? Like that kind of reflects poorly on you as well. Like, why aren't you someone worth caring for? You know what I mean? And like, they'll say like, oh, all these gestures were like performative. So it's like, if you're saying like, oh, this person, they only busted it open for me because like they're just loose and they'll sleep with anybody, which is not always true, by the way. it becomes a problem at a point. It eventually gets to the point where you're dissing yourself, because why don't you see yourself as the chosen one? The same way when someone's like, oh, I can't bust it open for them because what if they lose respect for me? Then it's like, why are you telling yourself that you're not the chosen one to get past that stupid barrier? There are a lot of people out here that have these rules, okay, that they set for themselves, when in reality, it's more so just a general guideline. Like, people will absolutely bend rules when they really like someone. That's the nature of really liking someone. So not only is that the reason that you shouldn't hold back from busting it open on the first date, but that's also why you shouldn't hold it against someone for busting it open on the first date. But yeah, that's about it. That's my point. Okay, hope you guys rock with it. Did you like it? Did you like the video? Did you? Did you? Yeah, she liked it. She, yeah, you haven't even seen the video. She has no idea what's going on. But
Does that mean I'm not gonna like it?
I don't know. But anyways, state of affairs, what's going on with me? You know, another daily post. I've been on the grind. I'm feeling very good, feeling very energized. Been feeling energized lately in general, okay? And things keep happening. Things keep coming that give me more topics, more gusto, more conversational girth. And I'm thinking if I have anything else to say about state of affairs. I don't know. I'm distracted because she came here. But this
Sorry.
no, just the end of the video is fine. But I'm thinking if there's anything like future wise, like this is a very unnecessary portion of the video. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.
They know I'm not white.
Yeah, she's not white. She's a very brown woman, right? I hate the she's a white woman allegations. Yeah, but anyways, yep, she's not white. I'm wrapping up this video. I'm finding a way. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Everything I have to say. I'm so sorry. And I love you.
What?
Okay, have a great day,
What?
night, evening, morning.